Between last year and now, interest rates have done a madness. And you can see on screen right now the history of interest rates from just a year and a half ago, mid 2022, round about 1%. And in the space of a year and a half, just 18 months, we're at just over 5%, right? So there has been just absolute chaos as it relates to interest rates in the economy. Why is that? Well, it's really down to inflation. And if you remember, the inflation issue kicked off really during COVID when supply chains were disrupted. You know, people were locked down, the traditional supply paths, there were like travel bans and all of this kind of stuff. It started then. And then don't know if you remember, there was that fuel crisis. And then you roll forwards, you had the war in Russia and Ukraine, and our supply of gas and oil and energy from that part of the world was affected. And what that did is just put sustained pressure on prices, okay? And essentially over the last year and a half, but you know, longer than that actually, inflation has just done that, and the cost of living. You tell me, right? Tell me how much more expensive your groceries when you go to Aldi, Tesco, Sainsbury's, you know, other supermarkets are available, wherever you shop. Tell me how much more expensive your basket of groceries is now compared to 2 years ago. It's actually insane when you look at it. I come back from Sainsbury's, my local Sainsbury's, with a basket of goods, and there's probably about 5 items in there, and I'm paying 10, 15 pounds. It's madness. And that's just groceries. You've also got the costs of your, you know, utilities, your gas, your electricity, etc., etc. Now, what does the Bank of England do when inflation is above their desired threshold? They increase interest rates. Why is that? It's because most people and businesses have some sort of lending in place, whether it's loans or a mortgage, credit cards, etc. The costs of repaying that go up, so you have less money in your pocket at the end of each month, and you start to bring your spending down. And the idea is that that brings overall downward pressure on the price of goods and services. So that inflation, the idea is that inflation starts to come down. And we've seen it, okay, in real life in the economy, okay? Inflation has come down significantly. I think it's halved over the last 12 months in line with these massive Bank of England base rate increases that they've put in place. So it does work, okay? That system works. It is brutal on everyday people like you and me and businesses, but it does work. And in line with that, let's have a quick look at this article from the Times Money Mentor and take a look at what's happened to mortgage rates, average 2-year and 5-year fixed rate mortgage rates since mid last year. So it's only the last 6 months. 23rd of June, the average went up to 6.19% for the average 2-year fixed and 5.83% for the average 5-year fixed. And then as you go through the year, there was slight rises in July, but as you get into really August onwards, there's like sustained drops. And at the bottom there, January of this year, we've gone from 6.19% of 5.83% down to 5.59% and 5.22%. So as I was saying, those base rate increases have worked to tackle inflation, and now the Bank of England have started to keep base rate at its current level. I think it's just over 5%. They haven't dropped it yet, but even though, this is the interesting part, even though they haven't dropped base rate yet, interest rates on mortgages and other types of lending have started to drop already. Why is that? It's because they predict that over the coming months, over the coming year, the Bank of England will start to drop base rate. So this is essentially their prediction. Thank you for watching. This year I'm making a video every month to answer any questions that you have for me. So whether you want to know whether you should invest in a limited company or in your own name, whether you should buy a flat or a house, what is the best way to get started in property, or who my barber is, just let me know. You can ask me in the comment section below, on Instagram, on TikTok, and I'll make a video dedicated to your questions. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.